Hi, I'm Janelle Evans, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about purpose and how important it is, and particularly that this could be a very good time to reset your purpose today so that you can have more joy and fulfillment in your future. And as I'm recording this, it is late July 2020. And the reason this topic was something that I wanted to share about is that I'm having so many conversations with people about their purpose in life. The global pandemic that we're all experiencing and going into month 5 has really become almost a wake-up call for many people about how they're living their lives. And are they living a purposeful life or not? And with the restrictions that we've had on our social activities and commuting and not commuting to work, there's been a little more time for people to really look in the mirror and really assess if they're living the life that they want to be living, and are they living a life that really fulfills them and gives them that deep, rewarding sense of purpose. I know that for some people, they have lost their jobs that they've had for a very long time, jobs that they loved, and that has really disrupted their sense of purpose. And for other people going through what we're all experiencing, they decided to leave their jobs because they realized that they could no longer pretend that they were on purpose and that the role that they had in a particular job was fulfilling, and they want to do something else. And then I've talked to people who are retired, who are struggling with sort of feeling very adrift right now, that retirement has not been anything what they thought it was going to be. And because of the social isolation, they're feeling very disconnected. They're feeling lost. Some of the words, untethered was another word I heard a lot. And just basically unsure about what their purpose is in life at this point and what they should do next. And in doing research to prepare what I wanted to share with you, I came across Richard Leiter, who is actually somebody I've followed, and maybe you know him. He's considered to be an expert in helping people find their purpose. And years ago, I know he was involved with AARP in their Life Reimagined series and helping people sort of reset their focus later in life. And I want to read a quote from Richard Leiter. He says, "Purpose is a verb. It is an active, inspirational aim. The power in purpose is activated when we wake up in the morning with our purpose foremost in our minds, and when we go to bed at night knowing we have worked toward it." And it's a very rewarding, satisfying feeling to believe that you are living a very purposeful life, that everything matters and that you're making a difference in a lot of ways. And we feel great about ourselves generally when we are living our lives in a way that we know we're living our purpose. And it can be as simple as being really clear on how you intend to live every day, your commitment to yourself and to others as to how you want to show up every day. And if you're working or volunteering or engaging with others somehow, and that you're doing something that makes you feel vital and energized and needed. Key word, we all need that. Living a purpose-driven life should be centered around things that you're naturally good at and that you're passionate about, and it should be congruent with your values. It's definitely not about trying to live your life in a way that pleases somebody else, or you look at someone else and you say, well, I want to have their life, right? And if you're listening to this, it could be that maybe you've been in a position where you had to live in a way that was not your ideal life to keep peace, to please other people, or to meet expectations, or some other reason that didn't feel like you were free to live the life that you were meant to live, and purposefully, of course. So while some of you maybe listening to this might say, I don't feel the need to define my purpose or reset it. But what we all need is to be needed. And we need to know that we matter in some ways. It's essential to our well-being. People who find meaning beyond themselves, who really know their purpose in life, they're happier, they are healthier, and they live longer. So that's a key motivation right there, to really understand what your purpose is at every big stage of your life. And not being clear about our purpose, can really negatively impact our mental, emotional, and physical health. Without purpose, we can actually feel like we're not as relevant as we were at one time, particularly as we get older and sometimes become more socially isolated because of what stage of life that we're in. Throughout our lives, there are these big mile markers that many of us experience. We get out of high school, some of us decide to go to college, some do technical school, whatever the path is right for you. Some people, again, begin a job, begin a career. Some have a family, some don't, but moving up in one's career. And so our purpose in sort of our middle years, can be really more defined by our roles in our life. And, might be more centered on things like being a parent while trying to be a great contributor to your employer, right? So when those roles change, the kids grow up, become an empty nester, and you retire or has to leave, as so many people right now, the companies are struggling and they can't keep people on their payroll. What happens when those big things are no longer a part of your everyday life? It's like we can begin to feel like we matter less because we don't have those roles. And for a lot of people, their job, whether it's being a parent, a stay-at-home parent, when that ends, that's a huge shift in their identity and their feeling like that they matter. And so identity is also very much a part of us understanding what our purpose is, and that, what it is that we're doing in our day-to-day is supported by our ultimate purpose in life. Even the phrase finding our purpose is a little bit misleading because the answer is already within. It may change over time due to our roles, like I was talking about. And I do believe that as our roles shift, that definitely impacts how we interpret our purpose in life. That's my personal belief. But it's never outside of us, and it should never be something we do to please other people. There are kind of two schools of belief about purpose in my research. Some people believe that you're just born with a purpose. It is your destiny to be or to do a particular thing. And others believe that we actually choose our purpose freely and create the life that we want to be able to fulfill that purpose. And neither belief is, better than the other. But what's really important, what matters, is that whatever you believe, that you can leverage your purpose, if you think that you were born with it, or if you think that you freely choose the purpose that you want your life to be all about. And again, I believe our purpose shifts due to our life experiences, our changes in our roles. For example, there was a time in my life where I was very much focused on my purpose being a great mother to my son. And I also wanted to be a great mentor to young leaders in my community. And I also wanted to be a key contributor to our leadership development firm, as we were growing, starting it out, 30 years ago. And so all of those things have shifted. My son is now grown. He doesn't need me as much. I don't have the bandwidth to actually do the level of volunteer mentoring that I used to be able to do for many, many years. And also, I've been able to now shift my focus working more with individuals and helping them navigate big transitions in their life than doing mass group, corporate-wide learning and development initiatives. And I actually began to reset my own purpose 5 years ago so that I would now be in the position of being able to do the work that I felt called to do and is really sincerely, authentically my purpose. And so it brings me tremendous joy. It's very fulfilling and rewarding to be able to support people as they make big transitions in life, well, at whatever stage. But a lot of times I'm working with people later in life, midlife and on, and the consequences are greater, and having someone to support them, to hold them accountable for making the changes is really the work that I love to do. But clarifying our purpose at any stage of life requires us to pay attention to who we have become. We are different at 50 than when we were 25. And because of our roles and our experiences and our education, but we can use our curiosity, our motivation, and our intuition to reset our purpose today. And I believe our purpose should leverage our gifts, our passions, and our values. And if you can identify those three things, your gifts, your passions, and your values, that will go a long way to help you reset your purpose at any stage of life. And if you're not clear about your purpose right now, wherever you are in your life, you may simply need a different mindset to help you clarify it, a different way of thinking about it. And again, suggested by Richard Leiter, who I mentioned earlier. He says, having a mindset of living purposefully, choosing how you will use your gifts and talents to create more meaning in your life is more important than just focusing on having a purpose. He says that the majority of people believe that we all have a purpose, but they have no clue what it is or how to find out what it is for them. And he suggests that if you can answer these 5 questions, it's also going to help you figure out if it's time to reset your purpose. And let me share those with you. The first one, have you recently felt like you'd like to be doing more with your life? 2, do you often yearn to use your gifts, your natural talents, to contribute more to the world? 3, do you feel like you're majoring in the minors, wasting time on things that are too small for you? 4, do you desire to major in the majors, serve others in a larger way, but you don't know how? And the last one, 5, do you ever wonder if this is it? He says, if you could say yes to any of those questions, you're probably ready to rethink, or as I like to say, reset your purpose. So why does having a purpose in life matter? I don't think anyone wants to get to the end of their life and feel like they did not live a purposeful, meaningful life. It's the only one we get. And I'd like to share with you kind of 9 things here that I think it means to live our life on purpose. So when we're living a life on purpose, we're growing and expanding through experiences that light us up. We're excited to get up and out of bed every day to help someone solve a problem, make someone's day, create something amazing, and solve a problem. When we go to sleep at night, we're very productive and we know we did our absolute best. When we're living our purpose, we focus on what matters and we minimize negative energy and distractions. When we're living our purpose, we feel more passionate about everything in our life. We are intrinsically motivated to do what we do. We have more clarity about who we are and what we want, so we don't waste time on irrelevant stuff. When we're really living our purpose, we live with total integrity because we know ourselves better than ever and our actions are aligned with our core values. 8, we have a more positive outlook, we have more fun, and we feel like we're in flow a lot of the time. And the last one, when we're living our purpose, we feel more joy, fulfillment, and freedom in our lives. So back to the 2 beliefs, I said that there are people that believe we're sort of born with this predetermined destiny about our lives. And other people believe that, we get to create our purpose and build our life to serve that. And I'm going to share a quote to close by Oprah Winfrey. And I would say that she probably, based on her quote, believes that we are born with a predefined destiny in our life. And this is the quote: "There's no greater gift than to honor your life's calling. It's why you were born. It's how you become most truly alive." So if you are thinking about your purpose, I hope what I've shared with you here might be thought-provoking and that you'll take some time, get an electronic device or pen and paper and just start writing some things about what you think your purpose is at this stage of your life. And if you want some more thought-provoking questions, you can go to my website at JanelleEvans.com. That's JENNELLEVANS.com. evans.com. And I have a guide. There's 21 questions that can change your life. And the purpose of those questions are just to open you up to think about things a little differently and just help jumpstart your own critical thinking about what's next for you and what your purpose can be moving forward. Thank you.